Hi Leos, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot monthly tarot for October 2024. This message is for any Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, but also if you have Leo that rules a particular house or planet that you need clarity on, then this message is also for you. Leos, while as clearing the cards, a lot of energy, a lot all over the place. I feel like your energy and your attention is being drawn to many different places all at once, all right? So really need you to ground that fire, really need you to center yourself this month in October. We're going to talk a little bit about the astrology for October. I am going to link astrology.com's calendar for October 2024 in the description. So please take a look at that, especially if you have prominent placements in some of the signs that we have a lot of strong energy. Scorpio, Libra, there's a lot of Sagittarius energy, Aries energy. So a lot of fire energy too, a lot of wind and fire. So that could be another indication of, needing to balance that fire and, the winds of change fanning that flame so that flame could get out of control. Okay. So I just want you to make sure that you're centering your energy right now, because there was the message of reflecting and contemplating on what community means to you, your community outside of, your friends and your family, the global community, your place in it, but then also this message of a saboteur and self-sabotage. And I just, again, want you to be mindful, because then the other direction of it was masculine energy, authoritative masculine energy, all right? This is not, gender specific to how you identify, but just that energy of almost like patriarchal masculine energy, and there being some influence of that in your life and as you're reflecting on community as well. Okay, so always recommending to people, especially during this time, limit your time on social media when you can. There's a lot going on and we're going to talk about it right now. So beginning of the month, October 2nd, new moon solar eclipse in Libra. Now this is important for you because there's an indication of possible burnout around this time, and that is one of your shadow traits, Leo, is burnout. All right, like we overdo it and then we burn out, and then like we need time to recuperate, and then we're just like in this cycle. So I want you to be very mindful of that energy of burnout at this time. It's also this energy of like people pleasing, and what does that mean to you? Okay, like you can't overextend yourself for certain people if it's going to create burnout in yourself. And this might be where you have an epiphany related to that. But the other major thing is, if your life is off balance at all, you are going to be given that indication of where in your life you are off balance. All right, so the more you can prep yourself, if you could do some yoga, some meditation, anything that like helps you find that balance and find that center within yourself prior to this solar eclipse, new moon, the better off you will be. All right, big one, October 11th. This is what everybody's talking about. Pluto retrograde goes direct in Capricorn. All right, so Pluto retrograde went into Capricorn September 1st. Okay, and now it's going to be going direct. And this is the last time we're going to see Pluto in Capricorn for the rest of our lifetimes. All right. And thank goodness. But there's a lot here that we've seen the plans, we've seen the inner workings, and then around the 11th is when we're going to actually see this stuff like right in front of our face. And like a lot of people, might be shocked. And this is really on a global scale. All right, this is on a collective societal scale, but you probably might be feeling the effects somewhere in your life. So take a look at what house Pluto is and what sign rules Pluto. This might give you an indication of where we're in. Like right now, it's the caterpillar in the cocoon, all that gooey stuff, and we're about to merge out, right? It's like this feeling of rebirth. And so with this rebirth, there is going to be that pressure. There is going to be a little like tug and pull, if you will. And unfortunately, the shadow aspect of that Capricorn paradigm, we are seeing the desperation of maintaining that power, maintaining that control, again, with that very authoritative, authoritarian energy of what power means, okay? And we're seeing how we're all changing our perception of what it means to be power. Look at, we're shifting, okay? What does this mean? What does it mean to be the King of Swords? What does it mean to be in charge of your life, okay? A lot of very strong masculine energy in your reading. So if that's you, or if that's somebody who's influencing you or affecting you, you're going to be feeling that authority energy in some area of your life. Now, October 17th, I love this, and this is something that's important to you because it's in your fellow fire sign. full moon in Aries, all right? This is where it's like, if we've been feeling powerless, if we haven't been feeling like we've stepped into our power, this is where the universe is energetically like giving you a little nudge here, okay? This is too for you, Leos. This is wonderful because this is that energy of no more excuses. You put yourself out there. There's something you've been wanting to do, some way you want to express yourself, something you've wanted to explore. And if there's anything or anyone that's been holding you back, like this is like the nudge where it's like, say yes to the impulse of pursuing something you're passionate about, because we are getting that influence of a bold, confident, fearless Aries energy to go out there and not make any excuses, okay? So I really just want you, and also it's that idea of control and what it means to be in control of your life, okay? And so for you, like I said, there's just this energy of like, this masculine energy there, and I don't know what that is for you, but push past the limits of what you believe is possible, because the sky is the limit. And so for you too, like the visual everybody's been getting is you're on stage and there's an audience and you're peeking out from behind the curtain, but like you're not sure, like you're ready to go out, but then like the universe just shoves you out there. Like that's really the energy that like, it's like, you know, so just be the one who goes and steps on that stage, because there is something you want to get started on, and now's the time. So what I'm most excited about is October 31st, Halloween, not just because it's Halloween. The veil's already thin there, but we have Mercury and Scorpio trining Neptune and Pisces. So we have the planet of communication in the sign of death, rebirth, and transformation that is trining Neptune, the planet of dreams, in the sign of the dreamer. And so this is where that energy of connecting to what you call like the other side, that is where the veil is so thin. Even if you don't feel like you have any perception of that or connection to that, you're going to feel this. And so the more that you can allow that in, like this is where people could have big epiphanies of what that even means, okay? And I just want you to understand that, like, with the veil being thin, like, if there's anybody you love who has passed, if there's somebody that you want to connect to, or, like, even, like, a group, like, ancestrally, like, a community of your past, like, you know, in your lineage, this is the time to do it. So you can do this by, you know, just sitting in silence and connecting to that energy. You can ask for, you know, those loved ones to come to you in a dream, but, like, this is going to be potent. All right. And so if you've never felt that energy before, you're probably going to feel it around this time. And I am personally excited about it. But the things that's sparking new for you, it does take really focusing on your boundaries. It really takes this energy of understanding that sometimes we just got to walk away from something. It's not worth it. And I know that it's a big shift for you, though. Whatever that is for you, it's going to be different things for different people. So again, please take a look. What house is Pluto in? What sign does Pluto rule in your chart? Because there's a lot here. And then with that Scorpio energy too, we could easily go down some rabbit holes when it comes to our spidey senses, what we know the truth is, but then like going like so deep down to find the truth, okay? And then that's like a lot of energy of where we don't want to get like too far deep where we can't come back up, basically. All right, so that's just an important message. But balance for you, balance, Leos. All right, so like I said, that's linked in the description. Let's get to your reading. Wow, a lot doing with karmic shifts for you. A lot of karmic shifts. Interesting. Wow. All right. Well, this really feels like a month of you like taking your power back in a sense here, Leos. This is really cool. Overall energy for the month of October 2024, the Empress. All right, this is a lot of growth, a lot to nurture. It can mean fertility. I know in traditional tarot that's what it means. So if you are somebody who is looking, you know, for that, that could indicate that. But I generally leave that out of my readings and just stick to the energy of growth and nurturing something you're growing. All right, but I really think that we we're recognizing the winds of change that are coming with Libra season. All right. Like I said, specifically that new moon solar eclipse in Libra. And here's where I just really want you to make sure that you ground yourself. All right. Ground yourself in this earth energy and make sure that you recognize that there's so much beauty in the world. As much as there is the chaos and the destruction and the pain, there's also beauty. This is so interesting to me. So what you need more of is the Five of Coins. Now the Five of Coins is feeling left out in the cold, abandoned, and like insecure. And there's, in this position, this almost gives me the indication that we're avoiding seeing the reality of the situation we're in. And if we're avoiding seeing the situation of the reality, and the universe is going to present to you it very clearly. And that's the message I'm getting, is you're going to see this very clearly for what it is. But what I love is that Taurus, this grounded earth faith energy. So faith, this is what you have the right amount of. You recognize that we all come from the same source, okay? But it's also this understanding of you have to practice what you preach, all right? Putting your beliefs into practice is so important. For you too, going back to that spiritual aspect, Leo, look at this gold, like this is clearly you. So much of the light comes from within, Leo, all right? There's this feeling of like the light, the power it takes to recognize a situation for what it is, and having the faith of knowing if you do take your power back in whatever area this is, that you have faith that it's going to work out to the best of your benefit, all right? What you need less of, Page of Cups. So interesting. Like I said, so this is so fascinating. You need more of seeing the reality of the situation, and you need less of the sugarcoating. You need less of the pretending everything's okay and like I can just, ignore something, okay? So that's another interesting thing, because we have Chiron retrograde in Aries, and that is the wounded healer. And so if there's any wounds, like we're gonna be seeing them. So that's why I think the universe is like, hey, you got to take a look at this, all right? Now, what you can change, Queen of Cups. Here's where it's this idea of you need to, the Queen of Cups is saying, I'm sorry, not cups, coins. The Queen of Coins, but perhaps it is because you need some of that nurturing mother energy. The Queen of Coins is here to remind you, you have the light, all right? You are the one who has manifested your life, all right? There's just this feeling of needing to recognize that somebody isn't seeing your worth for what it's worth. And look at this coin, okay? Because this coin gets activated when we actually recognize this and where it comes from in the root of our shadow. There's something here that has connected you to this situation. It's connected to the root cause that is connected to your shadow that keeps you in a cycle of something that is not meant for you. It's not going to help you in this transformation that's happening in the collective. Now, enjoying what you have, but also enjoying the fact that like you manifested this, okay? Your power is what got you here. This is the like everything you've ever wanted type of energy. And this is saying it's in your power to do something about it. What you need to accept, the Six of Cups. So this is so fascinating. There's this message of you really need to accept something connected to your childhood. There's a hurt, maybe it's this hurt or pain that's we've been glossing over, but there's something from childhood or a connection to our childhood that we really need to accept it and allow that inner child to feel safe, all right? There's something about going through all this shadow energy, recognizing it for what it is, and then moving forward. End of the month, the Emperor. So this is fascinating because this is that confidence, authority, structure, all right? This is that masculine energy that I was talking about, the assertiveness and stuff like that. And so it's this idea of what does that mean to you? What does the leading with confidence mean to you? And is this you or is this somebody else coming in? So let us get some energy here, because I love the overall energy being the Empress and ending with the Emperor. Hello. That is divine masculine, divine feminine working together. And so how can you embody that in yourself? Okay, like how can you embody that in yourself? Let's clarify this Five of Coins, what we need to face, because this is very fascinating to me. But yeah, if you're not a spiritual person, like it's time to really connect to you know, I mean, if you're watching tarot, you have some sort of indication of some sort of connection to, look at authority figures. I'm telling you, there's something really strong here to your concept of what that means, or your perception of how you assert yourself with authority, how you work with authority, your position in that. What does that mean to you? All right, biblical and transportation. So this is the connection to this 5 of coins here, something we need to face. So let's get to the biblical. Yeah, biblical faith. There's so much here connected to that spiritual aspect of your life. So when you read about Jesus, Moses, or other biblical figures, you know there's more to the story because you were there. Either you were a follower of Jesus or Moses, or you lived in the Holy Land. You may have also lived alongside other famous biblical figures. As a result, traditional religious interpretations of the Bible stories don't ring true to you. You know in your heart and soul what really happened. As such, you tend to follow your own religious and spiritual path. If you witness the crucifixion, you may have emotional scarring stemming from the heartbreak and horror that followed your beloved teacher's death. These reactions may have caused you to shut down your spiritual sight and other gifts. Oh, what did I say about reconnecting to that stuff at the end of the month? To reconnect with this ability, pray for help from the biblical figures that you feel connected to. You'll learn that they have forgiven all transgressions and have moved on their spiritual lives, and they'll help you do the same. So end of the month, what is that talking about? Bringing this power back to you. It's from connecting to that. All right, transportation. This card signifies that you had intense experiences involving transportation in prior lifetimes. This is especially true if you presently have phobias related to airplanes, cars, and so on, and these fears don't dissipate as a result of getting traditional counseling or hypnotherapy. In those cases, you likely suffered a traumatic past life event in some type of vehicle, which has caused you to lose trust in them. You may have been involved in the invention or form of a transportation or technology, and that knowledge wants to serve you in this lifetime. This includes those who lived during the time of Atlantis, when transportation was fueled by solar and crystal power. Your life purpose may involve reawakening the knowledge of alternative modes of transportation, which could be environmentally beneficial at this time. All right, so transportation and biblical, very interesting. So very clearly, deeply rooted, whatever this is for you. All right, now let's get some archetypal energy to see who is affecting you in the month of October. Ooh, this is cool because I was talking about your community. So networker and priest. My goodness, there's a lot connected to religion here. A lot connected to that aspect of that. And I mean, I grew up Catholic, so talk about something where it's like how that can be so interwoven, like there, you know, the concept of Catholic guilt and fear and shame, and how guilt, fear, and shame are mechanisms for power and control, right? Anyways, networker, light attributes, enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Shadow attributes, conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. And then priest, light attributes, facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Shadow attributes, violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. Wow, there's a lot connected. So here's the other thing too, like I want to go back to this faith card, because this idea of like, if you do, you know, identify in a specific faith, they all come from the same story. They all come from the same source. And that's just something I really want you to remember, is if you do like have this one very, you know, rigid way of thinking, it's that idea of like, this is what I think actually is fascinating. It's like, I think you do get that it all comes from the same source. You know, power of myth, wonderful. And perhaps you're dealing with somebody who's like, this is the way. You know what I mean? Like that could very clearly be something that's an indication there. All right, so let us get some dragon energy. What dragon energy is going to help Leos for October 2024? It's the year of the dragon. So it's important to have some dragon energy with you. All right. Also, too, seeing you like your Eastern astrology, what year, you know, what year cycle you're on right now is really important, okay? Crystal yellow dragon. So much related to your gold energy here. Opens you to higher learning and wisdom. Expand your crown chakra for illumination. Walk the higher spiritual path. Yeah, you have a lot here. And like I said, I do think that solar eclipse is really going to illuminate a lot of stuff for you, all right? So let's get some crystal energy to help you illuminate what needs to be illuminated. All right, what crystal energy is going to... Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me. Sunstone, Ra, light radiant. Okay, so it's the amount of light here. And like, I mean, we're talking about that, like how, you know, the solar flares, how much more light is coming down and how that can actually be difficult. So with the burnout, be very mindful of that with that solar eclipse. Like, we're going to be getting a lot of light, right? Wow, you have so much light here. I'm like speechless right now. So let's get an empowering question here that's going to really help you radiate your light, because you're meant to shine your light, Leo. Like, that's one thing, is if anybody like tries to like put out your flame, if you will, be mindful of that, okay? Or tries to control your flame. All right. Am I living according to the expectations and dreams of others or of my own? How do I distinguish them from one another? I think that's important there. Am I doing more of the things that keep me alive or more of the things that make me feel alive? What makes me feel alive? I feel like you're being awakened to that. And what kind of advice on life would I give to my younger self? Where'd you go over there with your younger self with the Six of Cups? What kind of advice on life would you give to your younger self? A lot of energy here going, like where it's just so cathartic and healing, Leos, all right? And remember, community. So this is making sense why that community was there. Like, having a community who cares and supports for you without trying to control you or without trying to fit you into a box that isn't the box you're meant to be in is so important, okay? And community does not have to be the people who like are directly, you know, day-to-day global community. You know, there's people that you can, there's support groups, you know, all this energy that you can really turn to, because this is a whole new identity, all right? It's really thinking your place, rethinking your place in the universe. Wow, the High Priestess. Okay, so that new moon and full moon, you're gonna feel it. The High Priestess is ruled by the moon. Intuition, insight seen below the surface. Another thing I didn't mention, Mercury going into Scorpio. You know in your heart of heart, okay, is what this is saying. There's something here. You have the answer within you. It might take you, you might be discovering things that, you know, you wish you wouldn't have read, or, you know, like this is like maybe seeing emails that you didn't expect to see, but you know in your heart of heart, and you've always known, and now it's just finally time to face it, okay? But look at this benevolent energy that surrounds you. So just never forget that. All right. Thank you so much, Leos, for joining me. As always, shine your inner light. You've got this.